Welcome to this edition of Trends Talk. I am Brian Beaulieu, CEO of ITR Economics, and we're going to be talking about 7 big trends. That's really the title of this Trends Talk. Big trends that are going to make a difference. They are not singular moments in time. They are simply trends that are going to be shaping the way we are going to be doing business, we think, over the next 10 years. So rather than talking about where interest rates are going next week or next month or even in 2020, this is bigger than that. This is a long-term issue that you have time to contemplate, time to think about, and time to react to. The first big trend is defense spending. It is safe to assume that the government is going to be spending more on national defense going forward. That will be military, that will be cyber, that will be space-based. But that ties in with, another big trend that we're going to get to. They're linked, but somewhat immutable also in that linkage. So you may not have a defense contractor that is a customer, but maybe you can get one. Maybe you can find a customer of yours that is related to defense industry, or go one derivative. Your customer isn't tied to the defense budget, but your customer's customer is. Somehow get some sort of linkage going there, because they will offer you some counterweight opportunities to the regular commercial business cycle. Defense spending is on a different, longer wave cycle than is the commercial part of our economy. So even as early as 2022, you're going to find that being associated, somehow getting that business going within your business, is going to offer you a counterweight to the general business cycle recession of 2022, because it will be in a different trend. And this isn't likely going to go away. The pendulum clearly swings both ways, but we are on the part of the pendulum where we are spending more and more and more. The next phase of that pendulum swing will be where we're spending more, but at a decelerating rate. This isn't about Republican or Democrat, by the way, in the Congress or in the White House. This is in response to the times in which we live. So it's one of those big trends that I think transcends a lot of the political speak that you may not adhere to or closely follow. I choose not to. The related trend, and it's big trend number 2, is nationalism. And it's just getting started, folks. I was recently reading an article where global trade is at a record high, up year over year. But that misses the point. If that's all you look at, that misses the point. The rate of that rising trend in globalization, that global trade, is dissipating. And it's losing momentum as you hear more and more things about our country first. And by our, I mean here in America, obviously the US of A, but Brexit, Italy, Austria, China, Brazil. The list is getting longer and longer all the time about nationalism. We will take care of us first is going to be a very common mantra. And it is, in some cases, born out of patriotism, and in some cases, it's born out of pure political need. And like in China, where it's all about the communists being able to hold on to power. So they engage in nationalism. It's going to impact you and me here in the States, because it means our supply chain is going to be shifting. I mean, we've seen some of that already. I get that over the last year, last 18 months. This is just the beginning, folks. Your supply chain needs to be agile, and the near sourcing, onshoring phenomena is going to be somehow a bigger part of what you are going to need. You're going to need alternate sources. It's not just China 1+1 anymore. It's how variable can I make this? And this nationalism is also going to be a big price influencer. Tariffs, protection, they breed inefficiencies within an economy. Within businesses, if you're not extremely vigilant, the same inefficiencies develop. And that inefficiency is always reflected in the pricing of our goods and services in the marketplace. Someone's going to have to pay for those higher prices. I don't want it to be you. I want it to be your customers, or I want it to be some other person, but I don't want it to be you. The third mega trend is, you're going to go like, duh, but I got to, even though it's basic, talk about it. Automation. The labor shortage that we are feeling here in the United States isn't just a U.S. issue. It is much bigger than that. And it isn't something that's going to go away in the very short time. We have, through our education system, developed a very clear imbalance between what we know and what we need to have done. And it takes a long time to redress that imbalance. And what we business folks have available to us is automation, whether that's augmenting what people can do to make them even more efficient so that I can grow without having to add a commensurate number of bodies like I used to in the old days, or whether it's obviating that person's position in total. But that is going to be a big trend for at least the next 10 years. And you need to be part of that trend, whether you're Rockwell Automation or Fanuc or writing code. This is huge. And it's not going to go away just because there's a different party that occupies Washington, D.C. or Ottawa, for that matter. It is one of those undeniable trends. Be with it, because you aren't going to be able to fight against it. Thanks for listening to this edition of Trends Talk. 7 big trends. Very much appreciate you taking the time to listen.